This is the C-Section Experience podcast, where we support you in preparing for and processing your C-section journey through education, validation, and storytelling. We're here to reduce anxiety, amplify your voice, and help you feel truly seen. I'm Dr. Jen, an obstetric anesthesiologist.
And I'm Bethany, a nurse and a birth educator. As friends and fellow C-section mamas, we're on a mission to empower you. Through personal stories and expert guests, we'll laugh, we'll cry, feel all the feels, so you can approach your birth with confidence. Are you ready? Hello, Jen.
Hello, Bethany.
How are you?
We switching it up.
Yeah.
Too many highs,
yeah. I had the best weekend with my kids because I was on a stroller ride. Of course, Souther's 9, right? So he doesn't ride in the stroller anymore, but I had the double stroller. And on the way back, he was like, Mom, can I get in the double stroller with the other two? And I was like, yes. So I pushed all three of my babies, 9, 7, 5, in a stroller. And I felt so happy pushing that stroller because I honestly never thought he'd sit in that stroller again. I'm kind of sad stroller life is over.
I can't believe you still have a stroller.
Of course I do. I have a 5-year-old. What do you mean? You don't have a stroller anymore?
No, I haven't had a stroller for years.
What?
You know.
Okay. I don't understand that.
Paul was like, we don't need these anymore.
Well, Matt does the same thing to me too. He gets rid of stuff and I'm like, we still use
strollers
boosters.
are the best thing ever.
We
you
still
just need
use
them
strollers.
to carry stuff, all the stuff.
Yes. But it's like this
and
like
the tired
very
legs.
sweet.
They all get tired legs.
They all get, yeah. You know what? I would like to be in a stroller sometimes.
Same.
Okay. I'll push you around in a stroller if you ever need it. I was just so happy that I had pumped up the wheels prior to going on our walk because if he had been in the stroller with like even the wheels a little bit down, he would have had to get out. Like it was already a push to push 3 of them in that
How long
stroller.
have you had that stroller?
Since Sable was born.
5 years.
5 years.
Pretty good.
Oh, you know, it's gotten some life. It's got some miles on it. Anyways, today we're going to talk about the first week home. I think it's a really important conversation because I think as we both experienced, it's an overwhelming sensation to come home. And I think if you were anticipating having a C-section, maybe you could have prepared yourself for that coming home and what that was going to look like. And if you weren't anticipating, then that would probably be even more of a challenge. That discharge moment of being like, whoa, I'm on my own. I got to take care of myself and this little baby.
And it feels so much longer than a week.
A week, this
is...
first week feels like a month. Let's just own that for sure. There were so many different approaches when I was putting this topic together. I was like, should I go more down like an emotional or physical? We're going to do a little bit of both. But there is, as we both know, there is so much to talk about. So I didn't want to make this episode overwhelming with all the stuff. So I just focused on things that would be, in my opinion, helpful to kind of break down each day a little bit.
And I have a question.
Expectation.
Are we assuming that this is really starting day 3 after birth?
Yeah. Okay. This is day 1 home.
Day 1 home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because everyone will be a little bit different. Sometimes you're in the hospital 2, 3, 4 days, depends. So going back to discharge, if you have any questions, if you are concerned about anything, you are definitely asking those questions. Because again, once you get home, the overwhelming factor can play a big part of that first transition. And a statement I really like is you can feel overwhelmed and joyful at the same time. Let both exist. Because it is so exciting to come home with that new little baby. And if you're coming home to, these are my 2 favorite tips. If you're coming home to a pet, and this is first baby, it's super helpful to have a blanket that has the baby scent on it. So you can introduce the pet. I always go dog, but I know you had a cat. So
yeah,
I'm not sure if cats.
Oh, I should have done something for my cat because she lost her mind.
Right.
In hindsight.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can control that a little bit.
I didn't do anything. So I don't know if it would work for them, but I probably should have tried.
Okay. It would have been worth a try. Okay. And then the other favorite tip is one you gave is if you have other children at home, what was your tip with introducing?
My tip, so I guess it depends if your kids came to the hospital. But in general, my tip is to say hello to your older children first, give them your hugs and your I missed you and all of that, and then have someone else bring the baby to you and your older child or children for the introduction.
I love that. You could do that, and it kind of serves for a pet as well. Like say hello to that pet first, get the scent of the blanket first, and then bring in. Obviously, you're not carrying in the baby or most people. I feel like you walk in through the door with the baby in the car seat still. I did. Did you?
Well,
But you're not carrying it.
I was a
'cause you can't lift
stroller
over 10
situation,
pounds.
but
True.
a car seat in a stroller or a bassinet in a stroller.
Anyway, so however that baby comes into the house, prepare everybody else who's already in the home for the introduction of the baby.
Yes.
So you can take that overwhelming piece off of it. Day one home, I think your biggest focus is on rest and recovery. You've most likely probably like you're halfway through the day by the time you're actually getting home. I don't think really people are very much discharged in the morning. It's more like in the afternoon. So coming in, having your highs, your welcoming, and then bringing yourself to wherever you are going to be resting for the rest of that day. We know with our conversation with the PT therapist that we brought on, Dr. LaShonda, that stairs are a big challenge. So when you first walk in, if you are able to set yourself up for being downstairs the whole time, that would be great. But my point is, find where you or know you're going to go. So you have this overwhelming factor of walking in with the baby, saying hello, and you know where you're going to recover for the rest of that evening.
Yeah. I mean, I think the ideal, when I think back to how I hadn't prepared anything really, I thought I had, my first few days were about setting up my systems that I would then use. So that could be having everything nearby, like you said, near the bed, near the bathroom. Ideally, if you have already those systems set up, then you just kind of walk into them. And if you don't, then you're probably going to spend some time sorting through that and making
Don't jump ahead.
those
That's day two.
plans.
That's day two.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, okay. So you're saying, I mean, obviously,
But just saying, like, knowing
rest
that-
as much as you can.
Rest
yeah.
as much as you can. And I think that the whole process of discharge and getting home is overwhelming. So like knowing, like I knew that I just wanted to get to my bed as fast as possible. Like that was going to be my safe place. That was where I was going to feel, and it feels so good to get into your bed after being in the hospital bed for a couple days.
Do you want to know something funny?
I do.
Looked through my photos in preparation for this conversation because I don't have a whole lot of memory. But I decided to just look at what photos I took for the first week. And I actually slept on my couch.
You said that, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had like a wide kind of couch and I had put a sheet on it and a pillow and slept out there. So my home base was kind of that couch in the living room in an apartment. I mean, everyone's house setup is different. But I didn't plan that. Somehow something came up that it felt like the best choice for me in that moment because I think we were using the stroller to like rock her and the bassinet. We weren't going to put her in the crib yet. I don't know why, but that's what we did.
Yeah.
I think she was sleeping in like the stroller as a bassinet. So
Interesting. Yeah.
I'm not saying that was a good idea necessarily, but that's what happened.
Well, also I think you bring up a good point. Like maybe the plan that you thought was going to work out best isn't the plan that ends up working out best once you get home. And the environment has to shift a little bit.
And
that's okay.
maybe we did it too because then one person could be in the bedroom and one person could be sort of sleeping with the baby.
Yeah.
And then we could switch.
Yeah. So day one, you're not going to have all the answers in play. Day two, you could start shifting to make the environment more conducive and healing for you and baby. Where it's quiet, all those things. Anyways, okay. I'm getting sidetracked. All right, so focus on rest and recovery. Healing, obviously, I think that transition home is probably the most movement that you'll have done. So being on top and being really organized with your medication. Let's bring up the whiteboard, always the whiteboard. Having someone document when you've taken your pain medication, if that's something that you need to take, so that you're staying on top of that.
Yeah, whatever your system is with a notebook or whatever you have, maybe even started in the hospital and continuing with that. And where are we going to keep it?
Yeah.
And maybe put it in the same place all the time so that when your brain is scrambled eggs, you can just go there to get it or ask someone else to get it.
Totally. And also to go along with movement, obviously, transitions should be slow. You should be continuing those slow transitions into the house. I think the step stool onto the bed is a really smart one as well. And having assistance, someone should be helping you in and out of bed. I know we have said that so many times, but I just think it needs to be said so many times because you're getting in front of more of a discomfort if you're trying to navigate getting in and out of bed by yourself versus having somebody assist you in and out of bed.
And also you're going to have practiced the log roll.
That's right.
Technique.
Yes. Practice that in the hospital before you leave. Ooh, that's a good one, Jen. Also, safety, obviously, that first week home, safety is one of your highest priorities as well. So being mindful of the amount of bleeding that you're having. If you have a temperature, if you're having chills, anything like that, it needs to be navigated. And you should call your OB to get a further assessment over the phone. And then if they think it's concerning, they're going to ask you to come in. But being really on top of yourself. Recovery is about safety, and that has to be on the forefront. Even though it's hard when you're tired and you're overwhelmed, it just has to be so important every day that you think about yourself that way and you take pictures of your incision site. Day 2 home is, I think a lot of day 2 home is finding your new normal. That's how I felt. By day 2, I was kind of like, okay, now we're home. Now we're like sort of settled a little bit. But now what's my new normal? Being home. Again, that's going to vary if this is a first baby versus if you have other children at home, because they're also finding their new normal. That's the day I think that focusing on what organization you want to put in play, if you haven't already put that together, don't overwhelm yourself with that the first day home. I think day 2 is a day that you can kind of think through that a little bit more. If you haven't put that caddy together with those thick pads by every toilet, maybe that's something one of your helpers does for you. If you haven't bought a whiteboard, get a whiteboard. If you haven't set up the nursery in a way that you want it to be, you could ask a helper to go do some things for you in that way. So focusing on an organized process will help you get through the rest of the week as well.
When I looked back at my photos for my day 2, which is really like maybe day 5 of life,
right.
5-day-old baby. That's when I had pictures of this milk storage system and nursing bras. And so I think I was screenshotting them to go purchase them, or I had gotten some things for my baby shower that I was now opening and learning how to use. Like, what is this milk storage system with these crazy little, and I was really navigating, how am I going to feed my baby? Because you may start with a certain plan, and by day 4 or 5, that's when your milk supply is being established, and is breastfeeding working or not working? So that was my main thing, I think, on that day was, what am I doing? Am I continuing to exclusively breastfeed? Am I going to try some bottles? Am I going to be pumping and storing milk? What am I doing? I was sorting all of that out clearly from my photos of, okay, like, I guess I had thought about pumping because I was having already so much pain with nursing and difficulty with the latch. And so I was sorting out the supplies that I would need in order to pump, which is a lot of supplies as far as storage, and then what bottles am I going to use? Yeah. So that was a big focus of, because you're not, I guess if you already knew you're exclusively bottle feeding or if you're exclusively breastfeeding, then you just keep doing that, right? But if you're in this halvesy in between where you're trying to do both, which I do not recommend. I know we all have to do it sometimes, but it's like, what is the system that we're going to be using? Are we giving a bottle? If so, how many? Are we storing breast milk? If so, what's the system for that if we're pumping at all? And you might have an oversupply at first. So a lot of people do focus on trying to save some of that regardless of how ultimately the feeding is going to go.
But you're organizing. Like, I feel like by day 2 home, I feel like the same way. I had that like clarity a little bit to be like, okay, let me solve the problems that are either I was anticipating or I was already like feeling frustrated about. I feel like I had like that clear head, a little bit of a clearer head by day 2 home.
I was still like not dressed.
Well, we're still. You and what were you?
I'll tell you when I first got dressed.
Oh, please do.
We're not there yet.
Okay.
It's the next day.
Oh no, that wasn't day 2 home. Come on.
Well, actually, day 2 was that my birthday. I think that was my birthday.
Oh.
And a couple of my girlfriends came over that night for my birthday, and I wore a robe.
Oh,
a robe.
Good. I'm glad you wore something
better than
the hospital gown.
The hospital gown.
Thank God. Oh.
But yeah, I haven't gotten dressed yet.
Did you sort of want to take that hospital gown home with you?
No, I didn't like the hospital gown. I loved the robe. I was so happy when I came home and could do robes.
Yes, robe life.
I should have brought the robe. That was a good idea.
Yeah,
that you had.
But that was the number one.
Yeah,
I will never do a
That's what
countdown
I would
again.
do differently. Is like shower more and get dressed more.
Yes,
and start with the robe as the
cozy robe,
as the pre-clothing clothing.
Totally.
Anyway.
Anyways. Okay, another big thing I think for day 2 home is this is when you want to really start thinking about your nutrition and kind of like what your meal process is going to be. Having a grocery store list for a helper to go out and get for you. You know, I believe food is medicine so much, and thinking about what goes in comes out. So we also want to think about if you're having any...
Yet.
If you've pooped yet, if you're having any constipation issues. Obviously, when I think about meal prep and food, I'm thinking about things that I can eat at any time of the day. I really love oatmeal. I think oatmeal is a really good one. And it's carb heavy, so that's like sustainability for you. Berries all day long, antioxidants. Protein, high in protein is going to help with recovery and decreasing inflammation. Fatty fish. So think about, I'm going to put a grocery list together of things that you should be thinking about eating. Nuts, legumes, things that are just like easy to snack on because you'll be hungry all the time in little funny periods of time. Like I feel like I would be like breastfeeding and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so hungry right now. So like having like an easy snack.
And you're sleeping sometimes during the day and not sleeping at night. And
Exactly. You're all over the place.
up.
You don't even know what time of the day it is. Even if it's light outside, you still are like, what time is it?
Yeah.
Between the afternoon to the morning. So thinking about what your meal prep is going to be for the next couple weeks, or just get through 1 week at a time. I kind of liked going 1 week at a time. I thought it was too overwhelming to think. I know
the first week's the hardest.
It's the hardest, right? And then again, day 2 is really honing in on safety elements of how you're bleeding. If you're experiencing any type of new pain, uncertainty, you want to be documenting that, and either you're calling your OB or you're having somebody else call the OB to do a check-in.
And you should be at this point starting to feel a little bit better pain-wise.
Right. Because now let's say you're at day 5 post-op.
Right.
Yeah. So you shouldn't be having any
You may not be where you want to be, but
True.
You should be turning some kind of corner.
Turning a corner for sure. Day 3 home, I'm going to say, is a movement-focused day. That should be having a 3-minute walk. Maybe that's just a 3-minute walk.
That was my first walk, day 3.
Day 3? Whoa, look at that. Maybe it's outside. Maybe it's just inside your house, but having a goal on day 3 of being movement focused.
That was when I had to go to the pediatrician. So that was when I was forced kind of, because the pediatrician was walking distance away.
Right.
To get out the stroller and take that walk.
Yes, take that walk. It's so important. And be easy on yourself. I think that in every day you have to give yourself patience and grace is going to be so important. And that little walk, even if you made it, maybe if you walked for 2 minutes and then you have to sit back down, okay, you did something great. You're reintegrating movement into your life. And that, I feel like after an abdominal surgery, is one of the hardest things to do. Put that binder on when you go for that walk too. If you need that extra support, you know I'm going to say binder all day long. Day 4 home, I think it's really important to have a personal focus, some alone time that you are allotting yourself, some alone time on that day 4. Maybe it's taking a long shower. Maybe that's just closing your door, knowing the baby is being taken care of, and being like, I need 1 hour of just alone time. I feel like it was at day 4, I started feeling like the walls were caving in a little bit. I'm feeling like I need to be in my own headspace. I didn't want like somebody giving me an opinion. I didn't want Matt talking to me. I didn't want to think about the baby. I just needed to have me time.
And babies are still sleeping so much. I noticed that from all the photos.
Yeah.
You know, she was sleeping on, we used those pillows to just like put her near wherever we were. And she'd be sleeping there, or we'd be holding her and she'd be sleeping. And the fact is, if they're sleeping so much, those are actually opportunities where someone else, anyone else, can just have eyeballs on the sleeping baby, so you can really separate yourself. Because I think it's very easy to just have the baby nearby and they're sleeping, and so you're technically not doing anything,
right?
But you are, because you're a mom, so you're like worried and you're looking over, and that would be a good time, like you're mentioning, to just have that space to yourself where you're literally separating yourself physically from the room that the baby is in. Someone else is watching that baby sleep, and you are taking a moment for yourself.
And also, by day 4, if you do have helpers or people like staying with you in your house, that was the time I'm like, okay, I've had too many people around me. Like I just, I think my rule is like 2 days of someone staying at your house, 3 days pushing it, 4 days, you're like, You need to go for a walk, actually. You go for a walk. You could take that baby for a walk. Even better, give you the house to yourself or the apartment to yourself for just some personal one-on-one time. Do a little check-in with yourself because the mental component is so important in that first week home as well. How are you feeling? And ask yourself that question. And maybe you don't have a clear-cut answer, but taking a pause moment to really like think about yourself is super important.
I was not okay.
I know. But
Because
did you
it was
ask
all the
yourself?
feeding issues.
But were you asking yourself, like, am I okay? Do I feel okay? Did you do a self-check-in?
What I think is so crazy, I mean, I think everyone around me, by everyone, I just mean my mom and my husband, were like, you're not okay.
Right.
Like,
right, but they're telling you that. But like, did you
Yeah.
do a self-check-in?
well, I just didn't feel like I had a choice. I just was still, the feeding issues were starting and the pain issues were still there. It was like an overlapping point where I had both the feeding issues and still the pain.
Yeah.
That was for day 4, 5, 6 of life, not of being home. But what's crazy is I was struggling a lot longer before I saw the lactation consultant, but that all happened within the first week of being home.
Yeah.
But it felt so much longer in my mind.
No, I know. I feel like that too. Every day felt very, very, very long.
And because when you're struggling every 2 to 3 hours with
Right.
feeding, that's like
Yeah.
a lot of times, even in just
So
one
let's just
day.
like pause and normalize that a little bit. It's okay for the day to feel like it's never ending.
Yeah. And you're battling, if you're having trouble feeding, whatever it is, it's not just once a day or something
No,
that you're
right,
battling
right.
this. It's constant.
And then what's in your mind too? It's that frustration of knowing like you're preparing for the frustration to come back again
Right.
instead of letting it go.
Yeah. Like, that was terrible.
can't
And
let
you're
it
like,
go.
maybe it'll be better next time. Maybe it'll be better next time.
Yeah, yeah.
And every time it's not.
And then that's why it even is so much more important that you have that time to yourself to be alone for a second to just like problem solve a little bit without somebody else's opinion is my point. Like I felt like I was like I just needed to sometimes like think on my own thoughts, not have somebody tell me what to do. Anyways, maybe I just have really controlling helpers.
Yeah. I think it's very much dependent. When you wanting people around, I think, is very dependent on who that person is.
Yeah.
And how helpful they really are.
So day 5, I said, is to get outside of the house or an apartment day. Could be to go to the pediatrician. Maybe that happens on day 4. But day 5 should be a focus of you've now been in the house. If you haven't really left your house or you're in an apartment, this is a good day to do that. So that you're doing something that like go to your favorite coffee shop or like go get something to eat from your favorite place. But encourage yourself to get out of the house. Maybe it's with the baby, maybe it's without the baby. But I think that goal of being like, I'm going to leave these walls and have a change of scenery.
Yeah. I noticed I started sitting outside. I had a little patio. And for 3 days, I didn't get dressed. I didn't really leave
And
the
that's
house.
okay. I think that's very
And
normal.
then I did my first walk. And that first walk did motivate me, I think, because then I noticed, then I was sitting outside on the patio a lot. And granted, it was summertime and it was nice out. But I made a point of just sitting outside my house, even though I wasn't necessarily going on walks or exercising or, really going anywhere yet. But I was getting outside. And I think that was helpful. And I should have done that earlier.
Yeah. I mean, even if it's cold, just if you stand outside for 30 seconds and breathe in fresh air, it can change your mood in such a dramatic way. You also have to like want it to, it's like breathe in good, exhale all the stress, exhale the frustrations, just like keep that motivation of positivity. I think is one of the hardest things in that first week is staying positive sometimes because that first week home is when you're hitting roadblocks and you're trying to problem solve that. So just reminding yourself of finding a positive light. And if something's frustrating on one day, maybe it's not going to be as frustrating the second day or the third day. Like as you're healing, your healing's getting better, your mindset and your positivity should be getting better as well. Which brings me to day 6 is a day home that you should have your fun friend or your funny friend come over. Someone who makes you happy. It's another good check-in for yourself. If that funny or just whether it's a friend or a family member, somebody who just makes you, we all have those people in our life that make us just feel good. That person isn't making you feel good. That's another good check-in with yourself to be like, why am I feeling this way? And how can I help myself? How can this person can also be your safe person that you can express yourself to if you're having any thoughts that you just are struggling with a little bit.
basically someone you really want to hang out with, not
Yes.
just someone who's, kind of an obligatory family member. Not that you don't want to see your
Right.
family, but this is really someone you want to have a little fun time with.
Yes, this is not your helper. This is not your physical help with the baby, help with the home. This is the person who's helping you personally.
Yeah. And I kind of
bringing
did
you
do
a
that, by the
smile.
way. My days 6 and 7, we had real dinners with friends
I love that.
who came to us.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
But it felt, remember feeling much more normal and almost like, no, in no way is it a vacation, but you're just kind of like, wait, I have no obligations except to this baby. Like, let's also enjoy ourselves a little bit.
Yeah.
And even though I didn't want to do it necessarily in a way, I guess, it made me feel so much better to have had that 1 hour or two where it felt more like normal, having a conversation with friends, enjoying yourself. I was ready for it by that time.
Yeah. And let's just say now you're 9 days post-op. So regaining a sense of myself a little bit. It's like the surgery seemed farther away. Entering into my new normal seemed more of within grasp.
It might happen.
Yes. Yeah. And too, I remember friends coming over. And that's when I was like, oh, I'm going to have a glass of wine. I'm going to have my favorite meal. I was just all those little things. It was
Coming out of the darkness a little bit.
It was. And then day 7, I think, is a day that you focus on doing something to treat yourself. That might be I'm going to tell you what I went and did. I went and got a foot massage. It was the best foot massage I've ever had in my life. It was alone time, but I felt like I gifted myself something. Whatever that is, focus on by day 7 doing something that is solely for you.
And it's celebrating that you've gotten through that first week at home.
Totally.
And you deserve to be celebrated and
Yes.
to say, I did this. I got through this first week. Everything is going to just keep moving forward and getting better and better from here on out. There's still always going to be things to sort, but your recovery, your healing, it's on the way.
Yes. Yeah.
And don't take anything don't go too hard, I guess, with any of these things, but just incorporating a little bit of that joy into your life by the end of that first week, being able to get out of your house and get dressed if you're me. And I know, but seriously though, that
I know
stuff is so important for your mental health. I wish I would have prioritized it. I just can't believe that I didn't. And it makes me wonder because I look back on that time and think about how hard it was. If I would have someone would have said, go take a shower and put on some clothing and let's just take a quick walk. These little things can be done. They feel so overwhelming in the moment, but you sometimes just have to force yourself to go have that quick conversation with a friend or get outside, whatever it is.
For sure. My last thing that by day 7, I think you should definitely, if you haven't already, called your OB to make your follow-up appointment. And, we push for the 2 weeks because we think that's a healthy kind of check-in point in time when you're in recovery, especially if you have any incision site concerns. But make that appointment by day 7. You should have that on the calendar when you're going to be seeing your OB.
Yeah, definitely. I guess after you do the first pediatrician and then think about yourself too.
And I also think a good a week home and then calling. And for me, I felt like if I needed to come in earlier, you're kind of setting yourself up for success there because they're going to say at discharge we'll see you in 6 or 8 weeks. And after week 1, if you're not feeling you want to wait for that 6 or 8 weeks, you should 100% be prioritizing that to go in and see them sooner.
And just say that you have this concern and this is why you're going to come in.
Or you want to have your birth debrief.
The payment structure
the
payment structure only allows for one visit. So that's why they usually do it at the 6 weeks. But if you have a concern, you go in.
You got to go in. All right. Anything else you want to add? No? Okay.
It's trip down memory lane for me.
I know. You really did some deep dives on your phone with pictures. I feel like I need to go do that now.
Most of it, by the way, was just 500 pictures of the baby.
Of course. Yes.
I was looking for anything. There's none of me.
No,
of course.
never.
I guess it's my phone.
Does that ever change? I still have no pictures of my kids. I'm like, hey, Matt, can you take a picture of me with the kids?
Yeah.
You get all the pictures with the kids.
I just know what I was wearing for my birthday because my friends did take a picture of me on my birthday. And I was a robe. I do remember that.
Oh, good.
And I specifically remember putting it on and being like, I don't care. This is what I'm wearing.
Yes.
And we're not going out. I'm wearing a robe.
Actually, if you're looking for a gift to give somebody, a new mom, a cozy robe, they will love you so much for that gift.
Yeah. And You need like a thin one. Oh, I loved mine. It was like a,
I have many robes, Jen.
Yeah,
I
I
have
forget
very
the
fluffy
brand.
robes. I have
but it
very
wasn't
thin
fluffy.
robes.
It was just almost like a cozy pajama type material.
Yeah. Great gift for anybody. All right, you want to wrap it up?
Yep.
Okay. I found this book. Okay, I am not a journaler. I know you journal. And why wasn't I a journaler? But anyways, I think also another great gift would be to bring a mom a journal to start writing things down. I mean, I write things down all the time, but I don't process this as like, oh, I'm letting something go. And so we're going to play that fun little game. We're going to tell me to stop because this journal in particular has the best little mini quotes in it.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're reading a quote through this. Oh, this is the new journal you
Yeah,
found.
this is a new
You
one.
showed me that one. Yeah.
I know. Okay.
Okay.
So
All right,
tell me to
ready?
stop.
Stop.
Okay. Earlier in the day is best. It takes practice to be able to ensure that your worry period doesn't spill over once you are done writing. Try writing early in the day so you can give yourself plenty of time during the day to practice letting go by bedtime. I love that.
So write earlier. So if you're going to journal
Early in the day.
early in the day.
Write your worries down. So then you spend the rest of the day just letting it go.
Letting it go.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
It can be a good, it's a good routine. I love journaling it's hard to make yourself do it, but it's.
Yeah. And you could just do a
Very helpful.
sentence. Just write down a sentence.
And no pressure.
Yeah. Just a suggestion. Okay.
All right. So
Thanks for joining
don't
us.
forget to check out our website, csxpodcast.com, get our free C-section guide and our signature socks there. They're still 50% off.
That's right.
Come and get them.
Okay.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. We had so much fun recording this episode, and we hope you enjoyed it. We are also now on YouTube, so please head over there and subscribe to our channel to watch our full episodes.
We love having all of you as a part of our community. Please take a moment to rate, review, and follow the C-section experience wherever you listen. It really helps us grow and reach more amazing listeners just like you. Bye.